Lagos cases were 219. Yeah. Safe, safe. Please limit your movement outside. Wear a mask whenever you are out and about or when you are around people. You have to give gap as much as possible. Keep your distance. Wash and sanitize your hands. People are going to look at you like you're weird, but it's better to be weird. Better to be safe than sorry. I have a friend of mine who is currently in the hospital. His lungs are shot. Because he caught COVID-19 and it's been a struggle. We're all praying for him. We're all hoping for the best. It's heartbreaking seeing him suffer like that, and he was a COVID denier. He was one of those people who was saying, oh, the panic is too much. People are panicking too much. And he also did not get the vaccine, right? And now he's fighting for his life. And every day he's talking to us about how difficult it is, how he wishes that, he listened to us, how he wishes that he just took the vaccine, and it breaks my heart because this is an otherwise intelligent person, right? This is somebody who is very well read, very successful, very rich, and he just didn't do what he could have done to save himself and save the people that he cares about. So I'm hoping that maybe his story inspires you to take care of yourself. I swear, man. I don't even, I'm, I don't even have to be telling you to go and be vaccinating. Do you know that? Because I'm vaccinated. My husband is vaccinated. As soon as they make it okay for kids, I'll take my kids to go and also get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't gain anything by saying to you, oh, go and get vaccinated, because I'm safe. Because I'm vaccinated, even if I get COVID, I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to get into a hospital. It's going to be very mild, except that by some freak incident, So it's going to be really, really difficult to have me be hospitalized. So if I were being a regular selfish Nigerian, the Nigerians that will go and see something good and chop it alone and clean mouth and keep quiet and pretend like say nothing they happen, I would be like that and just make sure that more and more people are not getting vaccinated so I can vaccinate my whole people, like my friends, everybody. You know what I'm saying? But every day I'm on this show telling you why you should do this, telling you why it's important for you to get it done. So please, as soon as vaccinations restart on Monday, go and get vaccinated. If you're currently vaccinated, please continue to take your precautions. I spoke with the Primary Health Care Agency yesterday, as well as NCDC yesterday, and they said that vaccines will start rolling out again by Monday next week. So Monday next week, go to the nearest vaccine center. If you took AstraZeneca, don't take Moderna as your second shot. AstraZeneca is still coming. When it comes, you take the second shot, okay? All right? I mean, we even have the government talking to us about what we need to do so that we don't go into another lockdown. So please, let's do all we can. Let's try and be safe out there. It's really important. Actually, I think I gave the wrong data there with the vaccines. That's actually it's not vaccines. Sorry, the COVID cases. It's actually not 534. It's a bit more than 600 cases. So that's what we have with COVID cases this year. Today, it's a bit more than 600 cases. So I'm going to get the accurate number and share that with you. Now, on today's glass ceiling, we're going to talk some more about women who are the breadwinners in their family. So that's what we're going to talk about today on the glass ceiling. And then on today's Balogun and Broad, we'll talk about POS theft. POS theft is our conversation for Balogun and Broad. But on the big three, let's talk about a Nigerian diplomat who was assaulted in Indonesia. Then we'll talk about the assault of Nigerians by other Nigerians. So the Abuja women who were raided some time ago, 2 years ago, I believe it was. Judgment just came out in that matter. So we're going to discuss that. And then we're going to talk about the Agberos in Lagos. That's our third story. story. Is there a path to getting touts off the streets of Lagos? You will get news updates at the top of the hour every hour, and of course, we have coming your way from 6:30. Let's talk with Voice of America, so don't miss that conversation when it comes around. But let's get started with the Big Three. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
How should Nigeria respond to the assault of our diplomat by Indonesian authorities? How can we stop the assault of Nigerians by Nigerian authorities? And is there a path to getting touts off the streets of Lagos for good? Those are your Big Three. Lagos, let's talk. The government has recalled our ambassador to Indonesia in protests. That's our first story. They are protesting because Indonesian immigration officers allegedly assaulted a Nigerian diplomat in the country. You may have seen the viral video by now. It shows a group of men restraining a man in a car while he screams in distress. I don't know if you've seen that video. But if you haven't seen it, we're going to show it to you on our live stream. Our live stream is Nigeria Info 99.3. That's for Facebook. For YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info FM. That's YouTube. Now, of course, if you cannot watch at the moment for whatever reason, well, here's the audio.
Hey. No. How do I get it? Yeah! My leg! No! I can't breathe! No! I can't breathe! The one I can't breathe! Huh? No, Indonesia, man! Huh? Indonesia! I can't breathe! My neck! My neck!
No.
My neck!
That's
My
all.
neck!
Huh?
Yeah!
Okay. Okay.
Hey! Hey!
As you could see, these officials are twisting the man's limbs, pushing him by the neck and the head into the car seat. As you could hear, he was pleading with them the whole time that he couldn't breathe. And it turns out that this man is a Nigerian diplomat serving at our embassy in Jakarta, Indonesia. He heard, we heard from the Foreign Minister Geoffrey Onyama. Geoffrey Onyama spoke to the press, and he said that the ministry found out about this incident online. They saw the viral video just like the rest of us. I'm pointing this out for the benefit of those who say that social media is bad and that social media platforms should be banned. Notice that even the government is finding out stuff about government issues on social media. I wonder which social media platform carried that viral video. That's my homework for you. Please find out for me which platform first carried that video. Anyway, Onyama says that after they found out about the situation online, they called the ambassador in Indonesia, and the ambassador gave them details. Usman Oga told them that the immigration officers were conducting a raid. Apparently, they have these raids where they just catch as many Nigerians or Africans as they see moving around on suspicion of being in the country illegally. So that's how they now caught this one, and he's a diplomat, and they refuse to listen to his explanation of who he is. And now Nigeria is spitting fire. Onyama called the event, quote, an act of egregious international delinquency. The government has called Oga to Abuja. And in the diplomatic world, this is a very strong message. recalling recalling an ambassador is a form of serious protest. And the government says that they may not stop there. Onyama said, quote, "We will have full consultations at the highest level and decide what next step to take, including a review, of course, of our relations with Indonesia," end quote. So Onyama has made it clear that cutting off diplomatic relations with Indonesia is on the table. And I think I need to explain something at this point. You know that diplomats enjoy a type of immunity called physical inviolability. It's against international rules to touch a diplomat in an aggressive way, or to arrest them, or to assault them. It's against the Vienna Convention, which all countries have signed. The Vienna Convention is what governs diplomatic relations. So I want to know if, number one, you agree with the recall of the ambassador, and number two, you believe that more actions should be taken. Confirmed reports that Indonesia has apologized. Guardian is quoting the foreign ministry, but not the minister, as saying that the Indonesian ambassador to Nigeria has apologized and that the immigration official has also apologized in Indonesia. Now, we're waiting for independent confirmation of that, but let's assume that it's true. Do you think that an apology is enough? Do you think it's enough? And let's also talk about the raid itself. We're hearing about it because a diplomat was wrongly caught and assaulted. But what about other Nigerians who have been wrongly caught and assaulted in the past? Are we saying this is the first time? I don't know. I don't think this is the first time. Does the assault on this diplomat not prove that the Indonesian authorities are not careful when going after undocumented Nigerians, and that they may be attacking law-abiding Nigerians over there? And even in the case of undocumented Nigerians, the Indonesian authorities do not have the right to manhandle them and assault them physically. And these are Nigerian citizens. So shouldn't the Nigerian government be stepping in to demand respect for their human rights? I mean, look at what the UK government is doing with Nnamdi Kanu. They're not objecting to his trial, but they're simply saying, respect his human rights. Make sure his human rights are protected. Should the Nigerian government be doing the same thing for those getting caught in these raids? You can see the video on our live stream. Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. What do you think about that video? What do you think about the Nigerian government's response? Is an apology enough? If this report that they've apologized is true, is that enough? What else do you think should be done? These raids on alleged undocumented Nigerians, what do you think about it? Do you agree with the recall of the ambassador? Do you believe that more actions should be taken? Because Onyama made it clear that cutting off diplomatic relations is on the table. Women call us on 01465 7190. Men call us on 0700 993 993 993. We've got WhatsApp 080 959 75805. 080 959 75805. And there's definitely Facebook where you can leave your thoughts if we are unable to pick up right now, right? So Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We've got Nii, who's a first time caller, joining us from Lekki. Hi, Nii. Good to have you on the show.
It's good to hear your voice, Sandra.
Yes, welcome. I'm very well.
First time calling in. I find it amusing that we are talking about repercussions now, when I know for a fact that it's a daily function for Nigerian passport holders and nationals to be abused in several countries, even in African countries, even in Kenya. There are a lot of instances like that. So I'm happy that this happened to show how much value has been lost on who a Nigerian is when he goes abroad. So I don't understand why they feel it's sad. Imagine the embassy there didn't know until a video popped up online. So they don't check in on their diplomats. They don't know what's going on with their diplomats. They don't. So if he had been killed, they would have not known except it had been shown online. It makes no sense. It shows there's no value, nothing is done for Nigerians that are abroad. So now that it has happened close to home, it is now logical for them to think about taking steps that they should have taken years ago in several cases. You have Nigerians in Libya locked up in so many countries. So why is it that it is now that the diplomat that it is now informed that a decision has to be taken? It makes no sense. A Nigerian, diplomat or not, should be treated with respect outside of the shores of Nigeria. But that is not the case. But now that it has happened to someone that has diplomatic passport, it is now logical to consider options that should have been at the table since 1950, 1970, 1980. Well, I hope more happens so that we can now see the extent in which we have been deprived humanity in the world, and we will continue to look for logical changes, if possible, or we continue to sweep it under the carpet, because I think an apology is the most they can afford to get. Because in the real sense of it, what value do you bring to Indonesia? Nothing. That's the true fact. There's nothing they bring to Indonesia. So if you like, cut your ties. Move on. They will look for another country to trade business with. We have no value to them. So that's why we get what we are getting right now.
Thank you very much for calling. Ngozi's in Egbeda. Hi, Ngozi.
Hello, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, for me, I would say that video is fake news. Because, yes, Sandra, it is fake news. How do you now verify that what happened there actually happened since it was picked from social media? Because you can now see how life is. What goes around comes around. When it pertains the poor masses, then Mr. Lai Mohammed and the rest will tell you when it pertains NSAS, it is fake news. Now the diplomat is being touched. You can see how sweet these guys came out and start addressing the nation. You can see, so Nigerian government can act this sweet. I'm surprised yesterday night when I saw Godfrey. I was wow, because they have talked the big time maltreated in different countries. A lot of Nigerians have also been killed in that same Indonesia. Nigerian government, not even for once, giving them rights to a lawyer. Right, at least to defend themselves. They have never done it before. And now everybody is waking up and crying because the diplomat is touched. Why are they crying? Why is it paining them? Because even the government itself does not respect any law. They know what is called rule of law. So why are they crying? If they see people that behave alike like them, why are they in severe pain? Sandra, I don't have it, even though we know, just like the saying, those who live in glass house, they shouldn't throw stones. You can never know who will be the next one. Thank you.
Ngozi, thank you for calling. We've got Hamed in Ikoyi, who's also a first-time caller. Hi, Hamed.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. What do you think of this story?
Well, if you could remember far back in 1998, there was a Nigerian lady, an Hausa lady, that was bundled into the aircraft. That was Siberia Airline then.
Okay.
She was like, they tape her mouth and everything.
Right.
It was our relative that took up the matter with Belgian government. Nigerian government did not stand up to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy with this one that it happens to a diplomatic official, somebody that has an immunity. If it were to be ordinary Nigeria, nobody will hear about it. The government will not even make any step to even say, let's call these people to order. So anywhere Nigerian goes about in the world with green passport is issue. Once you are Nigeria, they just identify that you're a potential target. So, it's so seeking to hear this, like the way they make treatment. So you can call them, let them cut off diplomatic ties and pay damages to them because they have really done something bad to people official. So that's my own contribution.
Ahmed, thank you so much for calling. Contribute. If you just tuned in, Lagos, we brought you our first story on today. First story took us to Indonesia, where a diplomat was, assaulted by Indonesian immigration. You've seen that viral video by now. If you haven't, well, we're showing it to you on our Facebook live stream. And, you see that man, him pleading with them. You see the officials twisting the man's limbs, pushing him into the vehicle. I was heartbroken, right, to see that video. Nobody should be treated like that. Whether you are a diplomatic official or you are a regular Sandra, nobody should be treated like that. And looks like Geoffrey Onyama agrees. Let's go to WhatsApp where you have some comments, and then we'll take a quick break and we'll move on to our second story. Good afternoon, Sandra. As far as I'm concerned, recalling the ambassador to Nigeria and the apology tendered by the Indonesian government is not enough. The bad thing about it is it is not only in Indonesia it's happening, but all over many African countries and Asian countries. Nigeria is no more regarded by all these countries because they see the security they say begins at home. Let them also respect the rights of Nigerians here if they want to be respected abroad. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much for your mentally. We're going to talk about Nigerians get assaulted by law enforcement in Nigeria. So it ties Dennis's comment. Nigeria is a laughing stock now, somebody says on WhatsApp. Now, this action is on social media only. I beg, Joe, government... Okay, no, I'm not going to take the rest of that comment. But we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt. Or an extra hand to change a flat tire or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you. So when you use your Kuda accounts to pay bills, buy airtime and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it. No long talk, no collateral, no paperwork involved. Just download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store, open a Kuda account, and use it regularly to qualify for a Kuda overdraft. Kuda, free banking for you.
The most common drug that damages the liver is paracetamol, what we call acetaminophen.
Are you interested in health? Then join Dr. Fred on the Health and Safety Cafe every Friday, 2:30 p.m. It's time to talk about health on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Let's move from Nigerians getting assaulted by law enforcement during raids abroad to Nigerians getting assaulted by law enforcement during raids at home. That's our second story. It's about the 2019 Abuja raid on women. Do you remember that story? We covered it here on Hard Facts. We talked about it a lot at the time. 2 years ago, the police conducted this raid in Abuja alongside the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, AEPB. They targeted women. They were patrolling at night, arresting women they found on the street, arresting women they found in restaurants, women they found in bars, just women they found in supermarkets, just women. If you were not standing with a man, they arrested you. They accused these women of being sex workers. The police held many of them without a proper charge and without access to lawyers and without access to their family. Women were threatened, they were beaten, some were extorted for money, a lot of them were sexually assaulted. Many of these women took the government to court. And now, 2 years later, 6 of them have received justice. The Federal High Court in Abuja ruled that these women's constitutional rights were violated. The court ruled that these women were arrested without a cause. To be clear, the court is saying that simply walking on the road or being in a bar or nightclub or supermarket or restaurant is not a crime. I'm shocked that we needed the court to tell us this, but that's all we see. Here we are. The court also held that AEPB overstepped its authority. Also, all the respondents were found guilty of discriminating against the plaintiffs on the basis of gender and restrained them from doing it in the future to other women. The respondents in question are the AEPB, the police, the IG of police, civil defense, and specific police officers. And also, the women were awarded damages of between 2 and 4 million naira. I want to know what you think of this judgment and how long it took to get it. I also want to know what you think about these raids. We talked about raids in the first story, right? That time it was foreigners raiding and mass arresting Nigerians based on profiling and discrimination. We said it was bad. Now we're talking about Nigerians raiding and mass arresting their fellow Nigerians because they're women. Also, we're seeing profiling and discrimination. We said that the assault on the diplomat was bad. Well, now we're seeing the assault on women. Some of these women said that they were raped by the officers, that the officers used water sachets as condoms. Some of these women were denied sanitary pads for days. Some of them were beating. And at the time, a lot of Nigerians said, why are they moving around at night? Why are they going to supermarket and bar alone? Is it a crime to move around at night? Because remember, the task force and the officers were not arresting men, just women. So over to you, Lagos. What do you think about this judgment? What do you think about these raids against women here at home? Compare it with the first story. Men call me on 01465-7190. Women call me on 07... men call me on 0700-993-993-993. Then women call me on 01465-7190. 01465-7190. And of course, we've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Ike is in First Stack. Hi, Ike.
Hi, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I just joined and heard about the order that the court gave, and I am so happy about that.
Okay.
Let me just bring to your notice that along this First Stack, along the My 2 Badagry Road, the number of police stopping young people is becoming alarming. Like, you go from Mile 2 just to get to Alakija, they stop you. From Alakija just to get to Ablado, they stop you again. From Ablado to get to Barracks, they stop you again. To get to Yanaba, they stop you again. Like 4 places, and they're just looking out for young guys. Immediately you're a young boy, they don't care who you are. They just stop the bike just like that. This is becoming alarming. Like, it is getting on my nerves. I don't know if I'll lose my cool and I'll insult one of them. I don't just know.
Please don't lose your cool and insult anybody.
It is so painful. Like, they can stop you 3 times on the same road. Okay, what happened? I was on the bike 2 days ago. I was going to school. I'm a student of Lagos State University. I was going to school.
Okay.
And then they stopped the bike I was on. He just told the bikeman to park. The bikeman parked, and immediately the policeman turned his eye. He saw another car with 2 young guys inside. He just left us and ran to that car and stopped the car, forgetting that he had stopped us initially.
Can you imagine?
Because he saw a car with young guys. He was like, okay, this will bring a better pay. He left us, and I told the bikeman, please, can we just go? Since he's not interested in us anymore. They will stop you at Volks and do the same thing again. It's becoming alarming. This is how the NSAS movement started. It is becoming alarming. I'm so happy that this court order came. I don't know if the right authorities are listening. Please, the police is becoming, I don't know. I don't know. Just thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you, Ike, for calling. Shade is in Ikeja. Hi, Shade.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Good to have you on the show.
Yes, so I must confess, this is you reading judgment is the first time I'm hearing about the case. I didn't hear about it in 2019.
Okay.
But I'm glad that the judgment finally came.
Right.
But then for me it seems a little quick because just the way things happen in Nigeria, you know how they take forever. You hear judgments are taking like 5 years, 6 years.
Right.
So for those 2 years, quick is like a funny word to use, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah.
And although the monetary compensation is small, based on what you've read that these ladies went through, some of them, 2 to 4 million just seems, although money cannot bring back whatever they went through, but still, 2 to 4 million to me seems very small. Like, I believe they deserve more. And I do hope that, even though I heard things like that still happen in Lagos, especially along some routes currently, I mean, it's bad. It shouldn't happen to any female walking at night, just because it's nighttime. And, I hope the authorities do step up and do something about that. But, glad that these ladies finally got justice.
Yeah. Shadi, thank you so much for calling. On YouTube, Joseph Olusonya says, Sandra, the fact remains that racism is practiced more than we think it is. Just Believe on YouTube says, when Nigerians abroad complain, they don't take it seriously. Now it's their time to feel the taste. Omang Joseph Eke, I don't know, says Nigerian government doesn't have economic benefits from Indonesia. Good afternoon, Sandra. This is unacceptable. It's a crime over humanity. Indonesia has a lot to lose since they supply Nigeria tons of palm oil and rice. Federal government should cut ties with them. That's a message from Samuel Johnson. Patrick is in Festac. Hi, Patrick. Patrick, are you there? Patrick isn't there anymore. We'll take one final call and then I'll bring you our third story. 99.3. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. Welcome.
Yes, I'm an Uber rider.
Okay.
Coming to this police issue, after NSAS all stopped.
Okay.
Now it has become a menace. They don't want to see you. They don't want to see a young man in your vehicle. They pack you, they search everywhere, search their phones, search their laptops, everywhere, and sometimes they tell you to go. At Ikeja the other day, I carried 2 young boys from Ikeja going to Allen.
Right.
Allen roundabout, they stopped me and said I should park. I parked it. They brought down the 2 young men.
Right.
After searching them, they said I should go. I refused. I cannot end the trip because the police said I should end the trip. I said no. Until the young men said I should end the trip. After 15 minutes, the young men said I should end the trip. They paid me, so I left. Everywhere, if Uber riders will call me, you discover that we're not putting out the young men. It's where the riders is.
Oh, unfortunately, the quality of the call has dropped. So please try and give us a call back so that we can have this conversation. I'm very interested in what you have to say. But let's move from law enforcement assaulting citizens to touts harassing them. That's our third story. Jimmy Disu interviewed Baba Tunde Balogun here on Nigeria Info yesterday. Balogun is, of course, the Lagos APC chairman. And Jimmy asked him specifically about the situation with touts in the state.
Chairman, everybody, well, not everybody, let me take back what I said. Quite a large number of people believe that the party is the executive are hands in glove with the leaders of they're supposed to be members of the NURTW, but I know I'm sure you will agree that a lot of them, their operations have become a nuisance to our society. What is the party thinking about getting rid of this nuisance that we could jolly well do without Agberos and so on and so forth? These are our children. Some of us can't be sending our children to schools, sending them abroad, they get master's degree, and we encourage young teenagers to keep running all over the city in the name of Agbero, and in some cases causing mayhem. We'd like to know what the party is thinking in that direction, sir, to stem this tide that we have.
Yes. Of course, I'm looking at some of these points. There are certain things you don't feel happy about.
Yes.
And you have to approach them in a way that will not have a backlash on the people, especially commuters.
Yes.
Sometimes things get so bad that you really have to have an approach that will definitely be very effective and at the same time don't get back to the people you are trying to protect. We are working on it. We have had these people you're talking about. We sometimes engage them. We engage them because they are all over the place.
Engage them how, sir? You use them during elections? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, I just wanted to be sure.
We don't use them. Sometimes they can be disruptive. Really, sometimes.
I think that as parents that we are, we should be worried that we have a sizable number of our youth behave, as touts. I think we need to stop this. We need to put a stop to this.
But the approach must be such that will not create another problem. You're trying to solve one, create another.
But we must admit our role in being part of this problem in the first instance.
We're taking it seriously, and we are sometimes we engage them to have the best way of doing things. Before they have entrenched themselves. But one
thing I find about the APC, sir, is this reluctance to enforce the law. You're so frightened to enforce the law. And I don't think it augurs well. I don't think it should always be just about victory at the polls. I don't think that is what it should be. Anyway, we will.
In areas, I know the enforcement has really been bad, and we can easily improve on this.
All right, so that's the APC chairman acknowledging that the touts are a problem in the state, but he's saying that we can't just get these Agberos, these touts, off the streets. He's saying that if the government just moves to get them off the streets at once, there will be a major backlash against citizens. So he appears to be saying that the ruling party and the government are worried that if they crack down on these guys, they'll retaliate against you and I, and the government will not be able to stop them or to protect us. And I want to know what you think about this. Is this an admission that the Agbero problem or the tout problem is so bad now and so entrenched, to use Balogun's words, that the government government no longer has the power to stop them? Is petting them the only option available now to the government? Do you think? I mean, you heard Jimmy ask him if there is a hesitancy to enforce the law. Do you think there is? This story speaks for itself. I just want to hear from you. You should listen to Jimmy Disu, by the way, the discourse. It happens every day from 9 a.m. and on Saturdays at 8 a.m. But let's hear from you, Lagos. 0700-993-993-993 for the men. For women, 01465-7190. Hello, thank you for calling us.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
I'm Mommy Choma.
Welcome, Mommy Choma.
Hey, I won't go for broken level.
No, all I did.
The time when you bring one other man come, the same story, then chop mouth. See this one again as they chop mouth. They know waiting they happen. The Agboros are working for them, so they don't have power to stop them. They know everything about the Agboros. And my own.
Okay. Mommy Choma, thank you very much for calling. I guess Mommy Choma is talking about when I had the House of Assembly member who joined us on the show. Alex is in Ikeja. Hello, Alex.
Yeah, hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Yeah, on the issue of this Agbero, it's not peculiar to Lagos State government.
Right.
Yes, even at the federal level. Now, let me tell you what. Once the government, it's a weakness in our system, in our governance system.
Right.
Once the government is benefiting from a group, right?
Right.
They will not be willing, especially politically. They will not be willing to to tackle them and get rid of them. There's no mega city in the world where you have kids running all over the place like that, chasing people who are doing their legitimate business.
Right.
It's because, you see, NURTW is like a powerhouse because they have been able to organize themselves in a way that most other citizens groups have not been able to, so that they have a national spread. There's power in there when you're able to organize it. And that's exactly what is wrong with our system. We're not able to organize ourselves as citizens, civil youth groups. That's why they are using them. They are a powerful group and they cannot just shun them. That's why it's like a bone in the throat. You have to get it out, but at the same time, you have to do the surgery. That's our system.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for calling. Demola in Orile is a first-time caller. Hi, Demola.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think there is a solution to the problem.
Okay.
Most of those guys, if you engage them, it is idleness. They don't have nothing to do. So if there is factory or a job, permanent one that they can do, most of them will go out the street. Going to CMS, that Igomo Bridge, any vehicle going, private, public, you will see some young boys, they will come to them begging. So if that person refuses to give, they will attack them. That's broad daylight. Imagine what will happen at night peradventure your vehicle got broken down. What do you think will happen? So those boys, some of them, I engage them, I ask, you can be doing something, but just because they don't have anything to do, they say, okay, let me follow my friend, and that's how they got that number. So if some of them have job doing, at least he will be busy with his work or whatever he's doing. I think that should be their target. Not that they will be creating another problem. Just straight job. Naturally, they will reduce. Seriously. That's my take.
All right, Demola, thank you very much. Frank, Joyce on the line. Hello, Frank.
Auntie Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I want to talk about Indonesia matter. Auntie Sandra, a long time ago, my barrister said something. He said, if I respect myself, the people outside is going to respect me.
Okay.
Now, Auntie Sandra, can you beat a soldier picking, even if the child offends you? Can you beat him? You cannot, because you know that his father is a soldier. And once you beat him, his father is coming for war. That is the only problem we are having in this country.
Okay.
Because these our people doesn't take care of themselves, not to take care of the Nigerians. What do they expect? Now, borrowing alone is enough to quit Nigeria. And Sandra, this matter is not something that we should talk. So if they are trying to quench social media, is it not the same Twitter they used to tweet this thing? Assuming that we have been banned, have we could have known this? And we are knowing it today because it happens to one of them. That is why we know it. Assuming it's an ordinary individual, nobody could have known this. No problem. Let them be shooting themselves on the leg, thinking that they are shooting the Nigerians. No. Even if there is an insult coming, it is them that is facing it. And before they will settle this matter, let them go and let the Nigerian immigration do their own ambassadors here, the same thing. If they are telling us sorry, they will be telling them sorry as well. And everybody will come to compromise. We'll settle it once and for all. That is my own take.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling, Frank. We've got Keno who says, Sandra, that video in Indonesia is Photoshop. We all saw the video on Twitter, including your government officials. They saw the video on the same Twitter they are against. I just wish Twitter will upgrade the app so that we can see our last scene. Okay. What do you expect the APC party chairman to say about enforcing the law against Agberos harassing citizens? The Agberos are used and employed as thugs for the government and politicians, and people like him know the truth. I'm a card-carrying member of the party, and I know everything about their role, including during elections. No politician or government has been able to operate without using or engaging them. That's a true fact. They all know the truth. As an international criminal lawyer, criminologist of so many years' experience, I don't see any big deal about the court judgment. Nigerian government has a very terrible record of obeying court orders or respecting the rule of law. The security agents used to intimidate and assault innocent citizens on a daily basis. What have the government and politicians done about it? Ade also says that charity begins at home. If the governments want Nigerians to be treated fairly abroad, they must respect the constitutional fundamental rights of citizens at home. How many of our innocent citizens have been assaulted and brutally abused both at home and abroad over so many years? What did the government and politicians do to stop such criminal acts? Something they're still very guilty of doing every day, using their thugs and their security agents. It's amazing how fast they were able to act because it involved a diplomat. It doesn't matter whatever action they take, even if they recall the ambassador to Indonesia or an apology is given. It's very disgraceful how these foreign countries have no respect or regard for our citizens. All right. Bali from Marina says, Sandra, this Agbero issue is worse to the extent that you can see them in front of State House at Marina, working with the LASMA, extorting dispatch riders and vans. Kai. Kelly in Bagada says, Sandra, I'm a chronic follower. Thank you so much. Talking about the Agbero on the streets of Lagos, it's not idle. There is something they call discipline that they lack, and they're choosing to and they're choosing this because they're benefiting from this. I've met some who asked me for money and I gave them contacts to assist them with jobs, but they never honored it. These guys make lucrative money from such ventures and they're not ready to do anything about it, even the government. Kelly Bagada, we're glad to have you join us every single day. I appreciate you. President Sandra, my name is Olushola. Agbero in Lagos is like tools to government when needed. Their services on the streets are a reward after elections. That's why all our cry about Agbero has been ignored. The video reveals that the world is watching how we treat ourselves in this country. Indonesia knew that Nigeria embraces apologies, even if that nobleman got killed, since our government here can allow Boko Haram beg Nigerians for forgiveness. Now wow, another angle don't come out. All right, let's take a look at more comments on WhatsApp. Relay police is getting out of hand. Please, you people should do something about it. What do you want us to do about it? I love the judgment, whether it was delayed or not, but the charges are low. I wish it was about 10 to 20 million. It will serve them right. Our law enforcement agencies are so low in orientation. They are unlearned, they are uneducated, they are inhuman, they are ill-mannered. They don't respect ordinary citizens. How will foreigners respect you anywhere in the world? So they'll assault our president abroad and they will apologize. The name you call your dog is what the name your neighbor will call it. Val. With that proverb there. Val is my own Pete Doche. Thank you very much for calling, Val. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
You have Sociable on the line.
Welcome, Sociable.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about the Aguru.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a game they used to play in the TV some time ago that they would say, computer, delete you incorrect answers, and leave the contestant with correct answer, one correct answer and one wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is what Lagos State needs to do.
Okay.
The people you see on the road, not all of them are really NROUCW
okay.
people. What Lagos needs to do is this. In each bus stop, get 2 or 3 buildings, buy it up, clear it and make a park. Whenever you want to drop a passenger, drive right into the park and discharge your passenger, and there you load and come outside. That is how it's done all over Nigeria, except this western side. Although I've not been other states, but between Ogun State and Lagos State, they don't have parks. You don't allow people who are supposed to operate in the park to operate on the main road. And you sold all the land that are supposed to be used for parks, for buildings. So when you have a park, restrict the activities in the park. Then you will now see those people who are terrorizing the community. In fact, I will tell you, if your vehicle goes down at Tele bus stop, that Conoyel at Tele bus stop, you will see boys that will rush out and come and surround you. If your vehicle also goes down at Ijegu bus stop, you will see boys that will surround you. Sometimes these boys are not the Agboros, as we call them, because Agboros wear uniform. They wear white and green. And whenever you see vehicles stop at the bus stop and somebody wearing white and green rush the person, you know that one is Agboro. But some evil people who even attack people in the night, you will see them in the daytime doing the same thing.
Thank you very much for calling us, Sociable. All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and try to take at least one more call before we call it a wrap on the big three. But the glass ceiling is coming, and we're going to talk about women as breadwinners, the final episode. Don't go away.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.